And I literally just seconds ago came across, I guess this got posted about a half hour ago, a review of Ruoff Mortgage Stadium at stadiumjourney.com. I don't know if you're aware of this, Justin, but
I know they were there, but I haven't seen what they wrote.
Okay.
So
literally
good news. Let's see.
Well, there's a score. I don't know if you want me to reveal the score, if you want to go read this yourself. I feel like I'm putting you on the spot.
Well, now you've made me nervous. Yes.
No, I don't. But I don't know their scale. That's the thing. I'm learning about. I don't even know this website at all. The final thought, though, it says Ruoff Mortgage Stadium is not only a great addition to the soccer world in the United States, but to the state of Indiana. This is what a soccer stadium should look like, and it is a venue that brings a lot of joy to fans in the Fort Wayne area for the foreseeable future. Should bring.
All right, we're checking in on the team that's absolutely doing it all in 2026, going pro, building a squad, and building a stadium all at the same time. Fort Wayne FC really is having quite the year. And to dig in, we got Director of Communications, Justin Cohn. Thank you for joining us here on Morning Kickaround, sir.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
So first things first, Justin, and I know we've been over this with Ryan and some other people. How do we say the name of the stadium?
Ruoff Mortgage Stadium.
Ruoff. See, there you go, Rob. Now we know. Now we're not going to get it wrong, right? We're going to be completely accurate.
Yeah, I mean, if you're from Indiana and particularly this area, it's a very large mortgage company. So I guess sometimes we do take that for granted. I mean, that is a household name in our area.
Okay.
Well, that's good that a local big business is supporting the sport that we're all or the sport that we all are fully engaged with. So I guess from the top, like I said, you guys you're doing a lot of stuff all at the same time. Kind of how's that balance been able to be accomplished? Like I said, the stadium is being built during the season, in the first season of being a pro team. Kind of how's that juggling act faring as we're halfway through the season here?
I mean, look, I think whether you're judging the on the pitch product, what we're doing at the stadium, I mean, in the community, you're right. I mean, it's a lot, but I think we've done a pretty good job of it. I mean, there's a lot of balance going on. I mean, certainly coming into the season, we were not expecting the level of construction on the stadium to still be going on. We were thrown a lot of wrenches throughout last fall and throughout last winter that we don't need to get into, but Mother Nature was one of the big ones that didn't play along. So we've had to do some things on the fly here, and the fans have been incredibly understanding in that the stadium readiness wasn't exactly where we wanted it when we opened in May. But you're right. I mean, there is some silver lining, though, and that is every time you come to the stadium, we've unveiled something new. There's something new and cool to see. So over the last 2 weeks, as an example, our scoreboard went operational. It is the second widest scoreboard in the state. So the only one that trumps it is Purdue's football scoreboard. And when you sit there and think about the things in Indiana, like Notre Dame football and things of that nature, I mean, you start to see the scale of something like the scoreboard here. So, fans have been understanding, and there's been excitement that every time they come, there's cool stuff to see that they hadn't seen before.
So that thing of opening while you're still putting the finishing touches on it, obviously unique. I have been looking for updated photos. Like, I'm not there in Fort Wayne. We want to visit, but I haven't been down there yet. And I literally just seconds ago came across, I guess this got posted about a half hour ago, a review of Ruoff Mortgage Stadium at stadiumjourney.com. I don't know if you're aware of this, Justin, but
I know they were there, but I haven't seen what they wrote.
Okay. So literally
good news. Let's see.
Well, there's a score. I don't know if you want me to reveal the score, if you want to go read this yourself. I feel like I'm putting you on the spot.
Well, now you've made me nervous. Yes.
No, I don't. But I don't know their scale. That's the thing. I'm learning about. I don't even know this website at all. The final thought, though, it says Ruoff Mortgage Stadium is not only a great addition to the soccer world in the United States, but to the state of Indiana. This is what a soccer stadium should look like, and it is a venue that brings a lot of joy to fans in the Fort Wayne area for the foreseeable future. Should bring. Visitors should expect a state-of-the-art venue for all of their soccer needs, which that can't do better than that, I don't think, John.
Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, look, you just touched on some of it. I mean, first of all, if you're not familiar with the Fort Wayne sports market, it is a very historic, very crowded sports market. I mean, for a lot of people, it's the number one minor league sports market in the United States. So, we come in knowing that we're competing with hockey, with baseball, with college sports. There's a lot of things that we are going up against. And the single most frequent comment I get, and this is every day, I mean, somebody will come up to me and say, hey, I went to the game last week. I'd never been before. I've never really been to a soccer match, had a blast. Looking forward to going back again. I mean, that's what we're looking for. And, in terms of your review there, and then what I heard you guys just talk about, I mean, this is a soccer specific stadium, not built for baseball or some other sport. This was built for soccer, built by people who know soccer, people like DeMarcus Beasley giving input. This is how we want the pitch to be. This is when we want it water. This is the type of caliber of performance we want from this field. Okay. And then you have people around it very passionate about soccer. And, another thing that we like to remind people, privately funded, not 1 cent of public money was used on this. So, there are people that sometimes will be scanning through their social media and they'll see this and maybe not be soccer fans and sometimes roll their eyes, oh, our money going for a sport. And then we remind them that this didn't cost you a cent. This was us. And that changes, I think, the philosophy for a lot of people when they go in. There's not politics involved. They're just seeing something new for the first time and having a great time and hopefully coming back.
A privately funded stadium might be clang-worthy here on Morning Kickaround. I mean, we don't often put that in for guests, but
I was going to say, have we ever claimed a guest before, Rob?
I don't think so. I think this is a precedent setter because we definitely, all have our. There we go. Getting clang for Fort Wayne's Ruoff Stadium, right?
I think we could be
Ruoff Mortgage Stadium. I mean, the owner of the team, that's where his he Ruoff Mortgage was his business. Okay. So, but there is a division between Ruoff Mortgage, the company, and why would they put naming rights on the stadium? They made a conscious business decision. For instance, they also sponsored the Music Center, which is down by Indianapolis. So, I mean, they made a conscious decision to say, look, this is the largest outdoor venue in Northeast Indiana. This is not, it's soccer specific, but we're going to have concerts, other events, things like that. You're on ESPN, you're on ESPN2. I mean, there's a lot of great reasons for the mortgage company to come to a naming rights agreement. But it wasn't just, oh, this was the owner's company, I'm going to slap my name on it. Like, that was not it. We went to a lot of businesses and discussed with them.
So in terms of completion, I mean, you mentioned the scoreboard. I showed a picture of that, second largest in Indiana. What percentage wise, how far along is the stadium compared to actual 100%? Where everything is done, all the fixtures are in, and we feel great about this.
Yeah, I mean, I can't give you an exact date, but we're very close. I mean, if I were to put a percentage on it, and I'm not totally in the know of all of the construction factors, but I would probably put it at about 85%. There's some things that are not as public facing that we're still working on. Like, one of the big ones might be the locker room. There are some club areas that we're still working on, but for most of the fans, we're very close to being there, and a lot of it is just touching things up and getting some, things like club rooms and back of the scoreboard so that there's advertising, things of that nature. But, we're very close, and, everybody's been very patient and understanding to the situation here, which is great.
It's great that you've gotten that kind of earnest patience and understanding there. That's important because it could be perceived in a couple different ways. And then, but I have kind of a club building question here, because you're in the club is in a unique position of going from a summer amateur club, rebranding and coming out as a professional club. And so kind of, I guess, like the 1A question is, I guess, what part of the journey did you join in on, and kind of what has been that transition and like the staff buildup been like in this kind of unique situation?
Yeah. So I started in January of 2025. So, a little over a year and a half ago, and there were several staff members like me that started around then. So we knew where this was going. Like, we knew the club was going to be moving up. It was shortly after I started. That's when we made the announcement we were going to USL One. We knew the stadium had already been announced. So, we had to staff up a little bit at that point and brought in a lot of people who had various experiences in this market. I mean, I came from the newspaper. I had covered NFL and hockey and a bunch of sports here. Our COO was running the hockey team here. We have people that were with the basketball team and the baseball team and the Coliseum. So, we're all very experienced in this market. And, there was a lot of, like you said, I mean, there was a lot of anticipation, but a lot of moving pieces to it all. The good thing is we had a very good, passionate fan base. Our supporters group, very passionate, had been very involved for years at USL League Two. We were playing at a fine facility that was a local college, very good NAIA facility. So, we had a lot of pieces in place, but, you do have to sort of refine things and decide, are we going to make massive changes as we go to the pros? And so we obviously landed with a lot of massive changes, including colors and logo and refining some things. And, that there are some obstacles when you do that, because people are used to certain things. They're used to the blue and white colors for, back to 2019, really. So we had to convince the long-term fans that our vision was a good one, with the recognition that we're trying to build a huge fan base that includes bringing in people who are not soccer fans, people that this is going to be new to. Can we go get the baseball fans and the soccer, or the hockey fans and high school American football fans, so we have to look beyond that. And so I understand it was a little bit jarring for some people, but everything we've done was with intent and with purpose.
So in regards to that, I mean, I think you've been talking a lot about, I mean, obviously out of the World Cup, what does MLS do to capture all these fans that are coming out of the World Cup interested in the sport? And I think that anybody who's been paying attention to American soccer for a while understands that right now there is not a sort of a national conversation in soccer the way there is in some other sports that you cover. The NFL, that the NFL dominates, all of the American football conversation, unless you're in a major college town, and then you'll get that too. But that sort of speaks to that college mentality, speaks to how local soccer can be, right? And Fort Wayne's a perfect example of, you can build a successful club at a level. You don't have to be putting 50,000 in the stadium to be successful or to keep it going. So how has that local adoption of Fort Wayne FC as a part of the Fort Wayne sports landscape been? I mean, that's local news, newspaper coverage, bloggers, whatever, however you measure that metric, Justin.
Yeah, I mean, look, if anybody has the perfect recipe for how to capitalize on World Cup, I mean, please send notes this way. I could tell you a big part of, I think, our philosophy is recognizing that right now a lot of kids are invested in soccer. A lot of them were watching some of these games with their parents. A lot of them are interested, maybe their parents don't want them playing tackle football, whatever the reason. So we are very passionate, first off, about engaging with young people in our community. I mean, you can look at our social media and our website. I mean, every week or 2 weeks, we are out at some youth clinic with a couple players, giving some instruction, just spending some time with them. We have recently unveiled a kids club, which was free to join. And I don't know what the number is now, but we are well over 1,000 kids signing up. And that was within the first maybe 5-6 weeks. That to me is a staggering number when you are competing with other teams in this market. So for me, I think a big part of it is engaging young people, showing them the great things about soccer. We are blessed that we have a very young, relatable team that's doing very well this year. So that certainly adds to it. If they come out to the stadium, it's not all about soccer. We got bounce houses, we've got a mascot, we've got all sorts of other things going on. So it's very much family friendly fun there. But I think, to me, that is the key. Like, you need to get young people passionate about soccer, seeing us as good players and great role models. And I think a lot can blossom from there.
Yeah, harnessing that sports loving community there in Fort Wayne, definitely a key. And I've seen it firsthand when a team like it gets in their hearts. I saw true American sports passion for a local team. I worked and was an intern back in the day for the Kalamazoo Wings, and there was a big time rivalry between them and the Fort Wayne Comets, and it was the first time that I'd seen a traveling section in that league. I think it was the UHL back then. And the Fort Wayne fans invaded the K-Wing Stadium there. So if you can harness that, I can see some incredible atmospheres and support for the team there. But on the field, I was also saying kind of building a squad as they're going too. Started on the road with the construction situation, and it was tough trucking. But since you've arrived home, things have balanced out. You got a positive record, and you're in kind of playoff spots as it stands.
Yeah, I mean, look, the team that you see playing right now is very clearly, and Coach talks about it all the time, just so much more confident. Okay. And a lot of those lessons that they learned early in the season, when you're right, they're on the road, first, whatever it was, 6 months or 6 weeks of the season, and the travel was rigorous and they've never been through it before. But those lessons learned then certainly pay off now. And, it's the youngest team in the league. It is excelling, I mean, in just about every phase of the game. And, I just think it adds a whole other level of intrigue to this whole thing, if you will. I mean, we've built something that's not just to be successful and kind of start out with a bang in our first pro season. They've looked at the long view here, which is let's get a young team. Let's be successful for a long time. We want these guys to have the opportunity to move up. Coach Mike Avery says it all the time, like, this may be the first place that you play, but we want it to be your favorite place to have played. I think we're up to 16 players who have made their pro debuts with us this year, and a significant number of those were on the road in those first few weeks of the season. So, I mean, for me, as somebody who's like kind of one step back and is kind of marketing the team and doing the communications aspect of it, I mean, it's been a blast to watch, to see these young guys that you're writing up all these bios from their college careers and seeing them really be able to elevate their games at this level. And, guys like Tage Healy and Lillian Ricole, I mean, these guys are so popular here and they're scoring so many goals. They're both already tied for the all-time club record in goals, if you include all our time in USL League 2, and they're halfway through their first season. Like, stuff like that has been a lot of fun to watch.
And you're saying not afraid to play the youth. I saw a piece of news that there was a 15-year-old made a debut.
Yes, 16. So his name is Johnny I. He is from Fort Wayne, very talented player. He checked into one match for us last season. So he was 15 then. So at that time it was a record. And yes, checked in last week. And I guess he's the youngest outfield player with an independent team to make his debut in league history at age 16. So that was a really cool moment. Fans chanting for him to play. I believe it was the match before. So, I mean, it's a big deal. You do anything with Johnny on social media and it, like, in 3 hours, you got 2,000 likes. So, I've learned he's a very popular player here.
That's great.
You got the warm embrace of the local community there, and you got local players contributing. That's amazing that those connections between all the interested parties, or the playing staff, the community staff, and the fans, as many connections as possible only strengthen what's ahead. But we have a few more minutes with you, and we can't let you go until we talk about Friendly the Goalrilla. And we start talking about, we had some facts wrong about the new mascot for Fort Wayne FC.
That's just because of how good it was. I was so stunned that this was a homegrown product. My apologies, Justin.
Yeah, I mean, I heard the stuff about they must have brought in a big marketing firm. So I guess that check just hasn't arrived. No, I mean, it was definitely a group effort. And I don't like pulling the curtain back too much on mascot stuff, because I think they should be, they're characters. They should be, treated as such. And by the way, fun fact, when you're starting to work on mascot stuff, if you Google mascot reveal, there is a huge trend now, especially among colleges, of the mascoteers taking their hats off to reveal who they are.
No.
And I think that is so wrong. Go
They're
ahead, Google it. You'll
hold
see
on.
it.
They're in college. These are the kids who are the mascots who are like when they graduate revealing, like it's part of their graduation.
Like, hi, I was
picture.
the mascot the whole time. But I think that is antithetical to the entire mascot ideal.
You have a Disney view of mascots. Never take off the mask, never reveal the person.
I like how you say like it's me. Like, if you were to talk to people who have been the mascots for any period of time, they'll tell you, and I have gone out and asked about this. They'll tell you, oh, no. That's unwritten rule. You never do that. Nobody can see who's under there. So anyway, I know that's a little tangent, but yes.
So Gorilla is Gorilla and nothing. There's no, this is not a superhero situation. Yes. We're not going to see. Okay. I got it. Okay.
Correct. Right. But no, Friendly the Gorilla was something we're very excited about. Again, circles back to kids and engaging kids and making what we're doing, get to Ruoff Mortgage Stadium. You're going to have fun, even if you're not focused 100% of the time on the match. There's going to be other stuff to do, and so I think that is an important component of that. Having in Fort Wayne, I've mentioned, hockey team has a nationally famous mascot. The baseball team has a very well-known mascot too. So I mean, you do yourself a disservice if you don't get involved in that realm too. And I just think it's very important for engaging the kids and just creating a great atmosphere at the stadium.
Yeah, it opens a lot of doors and presents a lot of photo opportunities, right? And just a lot of building more connections of the little kid's going to remember high five and the soccer gorilla, right? I mean, that's, making memories, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, you're never going to make everybody 100% happy, but I mean, we did a lot with the reveal. It was weeks of teasers, and it was very secret what was happening. I would say the response has been like overwhelmingly positive, probably 96%. I mean, we got pictures of little kids all around with stuffed animals and things like that. They're very into it. So, I know it's maybe a little bit different than what people were expecting, but that's kind of the goal. I mean, you want people something new and different and something they haven't seen before, something that another team isn't already doing. And that was really the goal with the Gorilla. And I think it's been an overwhelming success so far.
Got a couple ultras in the chat asking about the name and DCFC having a Friendly the Bear. Is there a friendly rivalry here?
I mean, I think that they are frenemies. Let's put it that way. But yeah, I mean, look, you are sometimes a little bit limited on the names. I mean, yeah, we knew that there were other friendlies out there, and it's not just contained to soccer. But we like kid friendly, and you can call him the Gorilla. That's fine too. I mean, he's got a website and all that stuff. But it was ironic. Like we played Detroit. Shortly after the reveal. Unfortunately, their Friendly was not able to come, but because we're so geographically close, I'm sure in the future we'll be able to get them together.
Yeah. I mean, right now, not in the same division, but you never know what the future brings when USL institutes promotion and relegation. We might have two Friendlies in the same division, Rob.
They may share the same first name, but if you found pictures of them, like, you could not find two different looking mascots with two very different backstories. So
for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And we've talked about it, and we've discussed with some of our channel members and with you, Justin. Hopefully Morning Kickaround can get out to a game when the stadium is complete, maybe in the fall sometime during this first season. I think that would be a special moment. And there's some ultras saying maybe we could have our first ever Ultra Fest that we've talked about and converge on Fort Wayne. Perhaps that sounds like an awesome time. But thank you so much, Justin, for joining us here on Morning Kickaround, and all the best to all the money balls you and the club are juggling right now.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us, and go Fort Wayne.